I'm sure most people today have heard about the Illuminati. This was originated actually in Bavaria and was originally an organisation, a society really, that wanted to change the world at the time, wanted to sort of break with the standard order of things, in essence. And they finally got broken up, and a lot of the people from it, they think, may have gone into the Freemasons and various things. But there's a lot of talk nowadays about the idea of there being an Illuminati still controlling the governments of this world, the industries of this world, the people of this world, in the background, like puppet masters controlling the strings of society. And I've always been a little bit concerned about this in a way, because I've thought a lot of it seems to be fantasy to me, but maybe there is also some truth in it. Well, just recently, Jane and myself went to Bletchley Park near Milton Keynes, which is an incredible place, which has was used for the code breaking during the Second World War. It was basically there to try to crack the enigma code. This was a machine that the Germans had developed that was pretty much impossible to crack, because there's billions of combinations you could get by setting the machine in different ways and setting it differently for every message. And of course you might have heard of the Imitation Game, the video of the Imitation Game, which is very good, in which they study the story of Alan Turing and how he had been ostracised because he was gay, but also the man was a genius. And it gave you a fantastic insight into this place at Bletchley Park. But what fascinated me about Bletchley Park was the fact that it was a place where there were secrets within secrets within secrets, because nobody knew what each other was doing. They were there was even a core there. One of the things that fascinated me most was MI14. It was MI14 was actually the pigeons set up in the First World War, and they would basically put British pigeons in with the German pigeons. So when the Germans sent a message across the lines to go to their own troops with a message about military message of some sort, the British pigeon would of course head straight back home again. So we'd get the message rather than the German generals. So it was a clever sort of idea. Just that little bit, the sheer ingenuity of it all was incredible. But Bletchley Park made me think about things again, because they kept such incredible secrets, and to this day people still don't know who was who there. Even some of the guides struck me as rather mysterious, because you could ask them questions and say, were you part of Bletchley Park when you were a young man? And I can't really say, sir. So even to this day the secrets are held. So what secrets are there still continuing even from that time or times before? The lengths that people can go to keep a secret makes me a bit scared, particularly since these people were in government, and even Churchill didn't know half of what was going on there. So if they can do that just in this kind of this Heath Robinson sort of style setup that they seem to have at Bletchley Park, where they got no real resources. It was a place where they made really the first really functional computer. It was the first computer that was actually used to crack a code and to do some massive job. So it was the first time we'd done that. But what we got now, with the sort of computers, the surveillance type systems we have, even when I'm talking to you now and talking through to my webcam, that can look at me just as I can look at you, and even if you're looking now on your iPad or whatever, that iPad can be hacked to watch what you're doing, or any person in the world. We have listening devices everywhere, don't we? So when people talk about the Illuminati, it makes me wonder, there's some pretty crackpot theories out there about the Illuminati. Some of the sort of things like musical brainwashing was one of them. That they think that a lot of songs, like Beyonce's songs, have secret messages in them. And Madonna came out against the Illuminati, and that was supposed to be disinformation. And Prince was murdered, some people think, as an Illuminati plot. So maybe it's possible, but. Let's have others talk about the Satanists, that there's a druid plot trying to undermine society. They talk about blood sacrifices, don't they, of the Illuminati. Stephen Paddock made some interesting ideas, the killer spies, etc., and the blood sacrifices that were talked about around that idea. And then, of course, there's Reptilian Overlords by David Icke. You know, that's another interesting idea, that there's people living on the moon, or not people, space people living on the moon that have morphed with humans and may even disguise themselves as humans, and the most famous one being that the Queen's a lizard. Some of those, I think, go a little bit too far, in my opinion, but it doesn't detract from the fact that we know very little about who actually runs this world. You know, we don't know who is pulling the strings. And in particular, I'm particularly interested in some of the ideas now that perhaps, well, not ideas, it's becoming quite self-evident to me that the voice of the people is no longer heard, is it? I'm particularly thinking about Brexit, because could it be that there's, I'm not talking about alien technology here, or Aquarian conspiracies or anything like that. You know, I'm thinking here in terms of the people that run our society are not the common people, are they? You know, we can see it now in our politicians, that the politicians in the British Parliament all are pro-Europe, which is fine. You know, they can have their opinion, but the country has voted to move out of Europe. So they've decided that they're going to still have a form of Europe, whether the public like it or not. Theresa May's deal, for example, is completely pro-Europe. It's just Europe in another form. It's just Europe without voting powers. And we chuck out the idea we can have a hard Brexit because, you know, that's just not going to be on the table now, which is what everybody kind of voted for if you look at the manifestos. So what we're seeing there with those politicians is a revelation of a ruling class that have no interest in the population at large. And these are the people we voted in. What about the people that weren't voted in? You know, what about the people behind those scenes? You know, the people that run industry, the people that run the big companies, you know, with massive power, the people that run things like Google, the people that run things like Facebook, people that are unelected but have huge power and influence over the world, you know? So when I see this, I've got to say, is Brexit an Illuminati plot? You know, and in my terms, being Illuminati being more like the ruling elite plot. You know, a ruling elite plot to keep their own power, to keep their own influence. There's huge money involved in all this, and what we see is a bunch of fools unable to make their mind up about things. But these are only the people that at the bottom of the ladder, as it were. These are the people that we've elected who are not prepared to deal with the people at large. Similarly, the House of Lords, an unelected group, that also decide to the country what they want, not what we want. And what worries me, and I'm not really buying in fully into this idea of the alien technology behind things, or the reptilians, or even perhaps even the idea of the New World Order. You know, even if you put all that aside, there is definitely a ruling elite behind things that are deciding the course of the world that has nothing to do with the common people. A few people control the lot. And if you look through history, it's always been the same. You look at every country, every nation, every culture, there's always a few control the lot. One or two take it all. You only need to look at Rome. 2,000 years of, or more, I can't remember, thousands of years of history in Rome. And it was all controlled by a few people, one man at the top, the emperor, who controlled the lot. You know, you look at many, many societies, and in our modern day, we have exactly the same thing. A few people control nearly all the world's wealth, and some starve while others live with luxury yachts and anything they can possibly want, building their own fantasies, space flights into the outer space for their own holidays and things like that. And incredible amounts of money to waste and spend. Google in particular, throwing money away. But a few people own it, you know? So maybe there is an Illuminati, maybe there's not. But whatever the case, our Brexit, for example, has been hijacked by a small core of people who really make you worry that, you know, we're no better than places like Russia or China, because, you know, we're not in control, are we? So in reality, there is an Illuminati. But people keep asking me, Craig, do you still think there's going to be a hard Brexit? Because that's what I predicted in my predictions. And I still think we're going to get a hard Brexit, actually, after all this. My feeling is the way things are going to go for the future is that we still get Europe's not going to help us anymore. We're going to get a change of party leader in time, and we're still going to bail out the hard way. It's going to be a turning to world trade style Brexit, you know. So so I hold with my predictions to this point. Let's see, but maybe these conspiracy theorists have something to make us think, and I think, you know, we really should be thinking hard about the fact that our democracy is being hijacked by a small number of people with their own ideas. Okay, that's my thoughts for today. Hope you like them. Please leave some comments. I'm very interested to hear what you think. Do you think there is an Illuminati on the sort of scale that people like David Icke talk about, or do you think it's just simply a group of people who have unprecedented power controlling not only the British politics but world politics? I think it's a worrying thing. What do you think? Put your comments below, and if you like this channel, don't forget subscribe and click that little bell and you'll get updates every week. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now. Check out our website for more stuff. You can book psychic readings with us and find out about our public events, or watch our fantastic movie called Mystic Journey to India. It's a mind-boggling adventure that's now showing on Amazon Prime. And if you want to learn more, you can find out about my books and courses. Check out Messages from the Universe that reveals the ancient secrets of existence, or read my book called Psychic School to discover and enhance your own psychic skills. Or how about What to Do When You're Dead, my book about the afterlife and what it's like. All this plus lots more, lots of new articles and videos, all on my fascinating website.